Lee. I'm co-best man. I want you all to know how happy I am to see Peter get married here today, because I promised Katelyn I would keep him alive until the wedding, and he immediately skewered his foot on a stick, and I started to doubt that he was going to make it here in one piece. So, if you're an introvert and you have an extroverted friend who just keeps dragging you to places filled with people, Peter's that friend to me. If you are wondering why your extroverted friends keep making you socialize, it's because they're preparing you to give a speech in front of 200 people at their wedding. That may sound cruel, but if we were both introverts, neither of us would have had anyone to give a best man speech at our weddings, and then why even get married? I've been married for 2 years now, and I've noticed a lot of stories from our past that contain important lessons you learned while married. I unfortunately had to learn them the hard way, because I chose a best man with no marriage experience whatsoever. The first lesson comes from a time when Peter and I were playing a video game. Our mission was easy. We got to fight our way up the hill through the bad guys. And Peter and I are very smart, you see. So we found out, we were just like, wait, if we just stay at the bottom of the hill, the enemies actually just come down to us. And we can just get rid of them. It's super easy. And it took 2 hours for us to realize that they just keep spawning until you get to the top of the hill. And that leads us to marriage lesson 1. Persistence is important unless you're persistently doing the wrong thing.
Nice.
Our next story, Peter wanted us to go snow tubing with his family, and I didn't want to go, but Peter convinced me anyway. I was terrified as I walked to the top of this giant hill, and I was terrified as I slid all the way down it. But once I reached the bottom, I stood up, and I decided tubing was kind of fun. And then I got immediately run over by Jen, who went down the hill way too soon after me, which leads to lesson number 2. When you're married, you have to do things you don't want to do. Most of these things will turn out to be fun, and some of them will feel like you did a backflip onto your face.
Nice.
In our third story, every summer, Peter would create a giant battle plan so that we could make it to every single graduation party in Worthington. Every single, and like the surrounding areas too. Convincing me to go was really easy because I like cake. But it turns out liking cake isn't so simple. You see, I like cake with buttercream frosting, and I hate cake with whipped cream frosting. Peter's the exact opposite. So much so it became a competition. We would go to 10 grad parties, and we'd just keep score about which ones had the right kind of cake. Just to prove ours was the best. And so marriage lesson 3, being different is hard, but no matter where you go, at least one of you will like the cake. The last story I have is not about Peter, but contains such an important lesson that I just have to tell it. So you see, my house has a bathroom with 2 shower heads, and so my wife and I will shower together sometimes. Generally, she just gets out first, and I just take my time in the shower. After a year of marriage, I found out that she was using the towel I dry off with to dry the floor when she got out of the shower. So the final lesson is, if you're going to get into fights. It's inevitable. But when you fight, you need to remember you're on the same side, even if they ruined a year's worth of showers. Now that you've learned these lessons, I can assure you that your marriage is going to go well for at least 2 years. Restrictions may apply, results may vary. Caleb does not assume any legal liability for the quality of your marriage for the first 2 years. This speech is for entertainment purposes only and is not legal advice. This speech is done in Los Angeles in the state of California. Ask your doctor if this speech is right for you. Peter, and I pray all the time that his marriage is just as much of a blessing to him as mine has been to me. Thank you very much, everyone.
Celebrating you and the person that you love. I'm so glad that you have found someone as awesome as Peter to share your life with, and I have so much love watching your guys' love for each other grow. Peter, thank you so much for taking care of my best friend and also being such a good friend to me. I remember your very first Valentine's Day with Katelyn. You got her flowers and her favorite chocolate. But then I walked down the stairs and you also had a bouquet of flowers for me and my favorite chocolate. I remember in that moment knowing that you were definitely a keeper. I know that you will take such good care of her and love her with your whole heart, and she will do the same to you. Katelyn, you are my best friend in the most entire world, and I love you with my whole heart. I'm so glad you found someone who will do the same. Even though he won't replace me, I am so happy you guys can't wait, and I can't wait for your future together. I love you guys.
Why'd you have to do us like that? No, I'm confident most of you already know me. I'm Alex, brother to the groom, and also his former enemy. Now I want you to focus on the word former there. Now, obviously growing up as brothers, we didn't get along all the time, and it's a tired trope, but I mean, it wouldn't be tired if it wasn't true. So I'll skip over most of the details of all of the fights we've had, because in hindsight we were both arguing for argument's sake, and maybe he was wrong more than I was, but obviously we've both long since forgiven each other for these fights, and they're bound to happen again, but we'll roll over them. I will say that I'm thankful for those fights though, because going through them, we got to see as we got older and matured and the fights grew further and fewer, you know, I truly began to appreciate who my brother really was, you know. I began to realize that he had enormous generosity to his friends and family. I began to see how caring he was when he saw anyone hurting around him. And most of all, I began to see that he was the furthest thing from an enemy I could ever have. Now, to sidetrack a little, so I stopped crying, a little joke I often crack at work is I take the first letter of a word or a name, and I try to come up with a word that describes the person or the situation in a usually humorous way. Now, the first letter in my name is A, and unlike his A that I've chosen, mine is awesome. Peter's middle name, Alan. His A stands for Alan. I know no one more loyal than Peter. He's loyal to his beliefs, his faith, and his values, and most importantly to his friends and family. I admire that quality about my brother above all others. No matter what others say about you or how little they believe in you, he's always by your side this morning. Now, I don't want that all to go to Peter's head, so I'm going to stop talking about him. I first met Katelyn at the Johnson house, as we collectively called it during high school. It was our friend group's hangout, you know. We'd go there after school almost every day. We'd all play games and watch videos, gossip about school, and all around just have a great time. I see a lot of the old Johnson gang back there. So one of the highlights of the Johnson house was couch therapy, and sometimes it would turn into car therapy. We'd go driving around the lake and talk about our problems.
And it was usually hosted by the twins. Now, we would talk about everything from relationships and crushes to family drama, and anyone could sit down and take an hour, or 2, or 7, and get whatever it was off your chest. Their open minds and willingness to help talk things out helped a lot of people through some hard times, myself included. I can certify that she is the most caring and emotionally intelligent person I've ever known. I've had the chance to go on trips with both of them, and the bond they share is evident. Katelyn is a constant calming presence for Peter, all while he motivates her to be wild and adventurous. From Katelyn's emotional intelligence to Peter's unwavering loyalty, their faith in God, and their awesome families, without question, they are ready to start the rest of their lives together. To close this off, I have a slightly abridged song lyric from the classic Crime. Peter and I have listened to it a long time, and I know Katelyn likes this song in particular. Whatever the cost, whether it works out or not, I know you'll follow each other with your hearts. Welcome to the family, Kate.
Thank you for everyone for coming in celebration. I'm Katelyn's father, which most of you already know, because there are so many in this house that is part of the Johnson family. Whether we're have the Johnson name or not. I'll have a good time, thank you.
Wow, that's a hard act to follow. Who knew that they were that emotionally intelligent and that sort of thing? I didn't know. You try to raise your kids right, you try to instill values and stuff like that. But what a great group, huh? Okay. Thank you all for that. Thank you.
I'm the boring one, but I just want to say a huge thank you to our amazing volunteer friends who have some bar experience. One of them is greatly experienced. The rest are not experienced at all. By some, I mean none. In fact, one doesn't even drink. So I don't know how they've been mixing the drinks, but hopefully they've been great. That was our biggest hurdle in planning this whole thing, and let me just tell you guys, the bar came together in the last week and a half before this thing, and these lovely people stepped up and have really just carried a huge weight off of us and done a phenomenal job. So can we get a round of applause for all of them? And then lastly, I just want to thank both our parents. I mean, they have made us the people we are today and have supported us and loved us all the way along here. And without them, none of this would be possible. And we just have we're so grateful for the amount of friends that we have and family that we have that just always have our back. And so thank you. Enjoy the rest of the night.